Bruce is organizing for Robert's family to be present at his trial. Some family lives in Chicago, some family is out of state. Bruce is somewhat the head of the family, the matriarch. Some of the relatives are older, some of them are younger, and they have not been as involved with the details of the case, just hearing what they could from the media. So he's been organizing, getting people together, and making sure that they can attend and who will attend on what days and things like that. Some of the relatives are older, and because we don't want them to, um, I guess, be trampled coming in and out of the court, he does want security around the family. And then a couple of them, or we figured a couple of rooms at a hotel would be sufficient to accommodate any family that's coming from out of town. Um, and that's pretty much what the goal is. Main thing is security, because you're going to have a lot of not just media but protesters and people against and for Robert. There'll be a lot of chaos, and a lot of the relatives are just older, so uh, we don't want any harm to come to Robert's family as they are present for his case. And the other thing is just making sure that they Robert knows that his family is there and he sees them, and that sort of thing. So this is separate from his putting money on Robert's books. Of course, money should go to Robert on his books, but this is something that's separate on the on the side, because this is something that the family is, and specifically Bruce, is putting together. He is in a treatment program, and he's been in that for a few months. He's doing very well. He's successfully doing what he needs to do, and being a stand-up representation for his brother. So I'm proud of what he's accomplished. And the family is rallying to make sure they are there for Robert and support him in whatever way that they can. This didn't happen prior because no one had organized it in the family, and the relatives being older, they just didn't do it for themselves. But Bruce is organizing it for this particular trial. So if you can, by all means, assist with that process, help out. His Cash App is $Kizzle 1120, $KIZZLE 1120. I have over 700 videos on my channels. 99% of them have been devoted to this case and devoted to helping Robert. There is not one video where you see I've asked for Cash App money. There's not one video where I've said donate to my platform. And I was the first responder. I was the person out here January of 2019 leading the charge to help this man. The first person that knew him, that did a video that got over 300,000 views, and the person that had an inside perspective into his house and was able to debunk the wife and Sparkle and others that had a lot of negative things to say about Robert. In 3.5 years, not one time have I asked anyone to donate to my channel. Not one time have you seen a Cash App on my screen. You haven't seen me asking you for money. The 2 or 3 times that I did, it was to support Bruce and what he was trying to do for his brother. The first time was when he did the press conference uh, for his birthday just recently, and now to assist his family. So anyone coming with negative comments is absolutely absurd. Every single person with a platform has a Cash App up on their platform screen at all times. They have been collecting money for years. They have been buying cars, getting apartments, basically living off of this Rkelly case. You can't point to one video out of my 700 where I've asked you to donate money to me. You can't point to one video where I've asked you to donate to my channel or where I've asked you to pay for my work that I've done to help Robert. And I have been out here the longest, working the hardest, doing the lion's share of the work, and moving the needle. Videos that I've done, at least 7 of them have reached over 250,000 people. 7 interviews, 7 times I've reached over 200,000 people. That's an enormous influence and impact. So I have proven myself. There's no person out here that can question my authenticity, that can question my loyalty, that can question my sincerity. And anyone that is the person that is the scammer. Look on their channel. You'll see a Cash App. You'll see a series of payments for their channel. Those are the people that are actually taking advantage of Rob's fans and supporters. 700 videos, you can't point to one where I've asked for money. You can't point to one where I've said, give me money, help me, fly me here, buy me this, get me a car, get me an apartment. Those words have never come out of my mouth. And I've never put up a Cash App to collect on behalf of me. Haven't done it. I've offered my health program because people have requested it so many times that I did it finally only after he got the verdicts in New York. But people had been asking me for years. So my record speaks for itself. I've done 7 videos on the work that I've done for this over 3.5 years. And it's not even 100% of what I've done. It's probably 50% of the work that I've done. I challenge anybody to match the work that I've done. Let the person that attempts to tell you about me and what I do show their work. What have they done? Tell me what they've done. List it. Because in the description of this video, I've got 7 videos of what I've done. And it's not even half of the work I've done. But show me the work of every single person that has something to say concerning me and what I do. Show their work. You list their work. You've been out here long enough. Each of you have seen what each person who has a platform has said and done. Just list the work that each person has done. Not that they did a video, but who is their video reaching? What is the content of what they're talking about? And how much exposure have they gotten? What you should be able to tangibly list every single thing that each person that has asked you for money has done. And if you can't list what they've done, why are you supporting their platform? If you can't write down all the things that they have done that are tangible, that you can actually list, then turning on the camera and talking is not work. Giving information that is not moving the needle is not work. So below in the description are videos of the work I have put in. And there isn't anybody out here that can step on the court with me. Hands down. And if they feel they can, do a video on all the work that you've done. Each person that has a platform, each person that claims they're here for him, each person that is pretending to be a relative or an associate or tied to him in any way, shape, or form, list your work. So my work can stand up to anybody's because I know who's doing what. I've been out here. And each of you that's been out here, look on the platforms. You can go through everybody's video and look and see what they've put out, all the way back to 2019. The record speaks for itself. You have to think for yourself, you have to move for yourself, and you have to not be influenced by people who were paid to prevent Robert from getting help. There are people who support their channels behind the scenes to ensure that people stay disjointed, that they don't support when needed, and that they stay in a confused state so that you don't get any real work done. Nobody's doing real work. Nobody's putting in anything that's moving the needle. No one is ever arrested because of a petition. No one is ever released from jail because of a petition. And billboards, nobody looks at billboards. Everybody has a smartphone. So putting money into things that are not going to move the dial is another distraction and another way of people making money but not making a difference. Movement is not achievement. And I've had these conversations for 3.5 years. Petitions do not get people arrested, and they do not get people out of jail. And nobody's paying attention to billboards when 99% of people have cell phones and everybody is looking down, not up. The best resource is your leg work, your footwork. And I've already said you should be at radio stations, television stations, newspapers, magazines. That's where the work needs to be focused. Not doing things that are not going to move the dial. Yes, the parents should be held accountable, but you have to go to City Hall and press those matters. You talk to congressmen, you talk to senators, you talk to mayors in cities. There's all types of work that can be done that would actually move the dial. And none of it requires money because you use the telephone, you use letters, you use email. There's no reason anybody should be collecting money for any petition or any billboards because that's a waste of resource. They should be organizing, but the organization should be free. When I asked people to mail letters, I didn't say send me money. I said, here's the letter. All you need are envelopes and stamps. So when you organize efficiently and correctly, people don't have to donate money for that because nobody is doing advertisement from the 1970s. Everything that people are doing is using social media, and social media is free. You reach people via email, you reach them via the phone, you reach them by mail. The most each of you should be spending is money for envelopes and stamps and maybe to print out some pages. That's it. And that's not money you have to send to anybody. It's money they should have you doing on your own, in your own free time.